Plan today is to sharpen a right hand twist drill in the Brierley drill grinder. We're going to tidy up the end of this high speed steel twist drill. The end's all gnarly and chewed over. The Brierley uses a V gauge, so when you put the drill in, you adjust the way that the cam action works. The way to use the gauge is you put the drill in, and where the drill touches is the number that you're going to use. The easy way to do it is the gauge number is the numerator to the nearest 32nd of an inch. So 1/2 inch drill, 16 32seconds, it's going to be on about 16. This is an 8mm drill using the ZB drill guide. I'll slip the drill in, and where the drill first touches the guide is basically on the 9. I don't use this drill gauge too much. I just use these rough gauge numbers, so it's the same each time when I put the drill into the drill grinder. That way I'm going to land up trying to basically do the same grind each time. And there you go, down the bottom. If it's a imperial drill, it's the numerator in 30 seconds. So the 1/2 inch drill was a 16, a 7/16 is a 14, so on and so forth. That's not so useful. Any drills 5/16, greater than 5/16 or 8mm, you're going to use the steady at the back, but all the Morse taper drills I use a holder for anyway, easy as pie. Where the drill sticks out of the chuck, there's a little gauge where you rest the lip, and depending on the size of the drill you use a different number on the scale here. 1/2 inch drill, that's 16 32seconds, it would be at this end, a 16, and that's the maximum number. Also, you'd set the cam relief here with this lever to the number 16, so this just rotates. It's on a detent. Some variations have a bar with a toggle that you pull in and out, but essentially it varies the amount of movement of the head backwards and forwards as a follower sits on this cam. So this is a standard right hand twist drill, 2 flute drill. Okay, so you've got a variety of different cams for different types of drill. On some larger drills, these secondary cutting edges can be quite raised, so on those drills I tend to sit this on top of the finger rather than engaging the groove. So on a drill with a raised lip like that, I will sit the lip of the drill on here rather than sitting on this little rest. It should sit on the rest, but you just get a better grind resting the edge just on there. For drills with diameters over 5/16, 8mm, you're going to use a rear steady to centralize the back end of the drill so that it runs true to the axis of the chuck. But also, if you've got a Morse taper drill, you're going to use a Morse taper 2 holder or a Morse taper 1 holder. So these drill holders are going to go in the back side and stabilize the tail end of your drill. And I've got a sleeve that I can slip on Morse taper 3. This only does tapers 1 and 2. Sleeve for 3. Okay, so we're going to set this 1/2 inch Morse taper 1 drill up. I'm going to set the cam to 14, get the chuck in the correct position, which is on this green notch, red notch for left hand drill. Okay, so right hand drill, green notch, poke the drill through. I'm just going to loosely snug it up. Now, when you're setting the drill, you have to lock the movement of the whole head. So we'll show you how to do that. Okay, you're down at the base of the machine. We've got a little handle. It's a standard drill, so the drill point is going to be 118 degrees, the included angle. So we move the head to the correct angle that you want to grind on the end of your drill. There's actually a little key that will drop in there, makes it absolutely rock solid, but that's going to get in the way of showing you the other setting. So I'll do that now. To make sure that the head's in the correct orientation, I've got to lock it. There it is. So this key slides forwards. I had a different machine, it had a latch that flew over, but there's lots of variations of this machine, all similar. You've got to lock the head in the right position. So this has locked the movement side to side. Now we're going to lock the chuck at the top. So we've locked the movement. Now we're going to lock the chuck at the top, and now we're ready to orientate this lip on this finger. Okay, so we've got the rear steady holding the back of the drill. We're going to just set that lip. See, we're on the green setting. We're on the green setting. So we'll tighten that in. Quite often when you tighten that, it actually makes it hit too tight on the lip guide. We've registered that lip. Just undo that, slide that out the way. RH, right hand. Unlock the top. We've set the lip. We're taking the lock off the top. I'm going to slide the lock back off the head, and that now locks into this finger here. So this unit here is now locked, and the whole head's moving side to side. I'm going to put this in because I've got it, and lock that off. We're ready to grind. The whole grinding unit head moves backwards and forwards. This is on a rack gear. Some of them are on pulley system. Anyway, it's on a rack gear, backwards and forwards, and I can drop it in to cut, bringing it in here. We can also move the head. There's a lock underneath. Pull the lock. There you go. Now I'm making fine, accurate movement with a graduated scale down here. when I'm using the fine movement, the handle's still. I unlock it, the handle's moving, and now if I turn it, there we go. We've got the 3-phase fired up, got the drill in the right position, we've set the lip, we've set the chuck, we've set the cam, we had the head locked, it's now unlocked. Let's fire them up. So we're going to bring the stone in and rotate the drill. And just slowly skim it down. When I move it quickly, I tend to get a rough finish. To save it getting too hot, I'll give it a blast of water every so often. Just come to a different part of the stone. And that's actually pretty good already. So I'm not going like crazy. It's nice and smooth. We'll take that drill out now and have a little peep at it. Okay, that's stuck in the taper attachment. Alright, so that's nice, clean and tidy. It's quite a thick web on that, but it's done a good job. There's relief coming back from the cutting edge. You can see your point angle. So what we'll do now is we'll have a go at thinning the edge. So that's a simple drill grind. Harder to film it than it is to do it. Right, we're going to set this drill up in real time. We've got the 1/2 inch drill in the Morse taper attachment. Push that through from the back. Open that up a touch. We've got the head moving side to side. So we're going to lock the head. It's locked. We're going to find the position on the chuck in the green. Advance the drill. So the lips sitting nicely on the finger. Chuck it up, no need to rive on it. That feels about right. Take the lock off, slide the pin back down at the bottom. Now the head can move side to side. Fire up the grinder. We're just going to clean this up now. Lovely. So we're looking good. Now we're going to thin the point. Right, so thinning the point. We're going to move the chuck round, rotate it, and stop on a green pin. Okay, we're going to move the head over until the cup thinning wheel engages tip of the drill where we want it. Now that looks about right, so I'm going to lock that off. Alright, so we're bringing our cup wheel in just behind the tip of the drill here. And then what I'll do is I will grind this side, rotate the drill to the next green stop, the next green pin on the chuck, and do the other side. And the key is for this dish to land up in exactly the same forward backward position this way. And we'll achieve that by using the dial at the back of the unit. Okay, I'll blue the end of this drill so that we can see exactly what's happened at the end. Alrighty, so a bit of blue. I'm going to try not to blue my machine. Okay, so that's blued up. We'll let that dry a little bit, and then when we thin the point, we'll be able to see what we did. Here we are, slightly different view. This is the dial that I'm going to be adjusting the forward backward movement with. We'll take a number reading off here, cut one side, move the head backwards, and use the same number for the second side. There we go. There's a better view of the rear setting dial. So if you cut one side and you cut on the 60, then you come back out, rotate the drill, come back in. And this ring can adjust round, but so you can set a 0, you can come back to 0. We'll take a cut, and then I can just adjust the whole head forwards or backwards if I need to. Once we've got it cutting where we want it to cut, we then don't move it forward and backwards. We just take the head out, rotate the drill 180 degrees, next green pin, and do the same cut from the dial at the back. And then in, backwards a little bit. Just touching. So I'm going to come back in. Sneaking up on it. 75. I'll let that run out. Back out the machine. Unlock the pin. Now I can see from here that we want to be more towards the tip. Coming back out. Rotate the head to the next green pin. Nothing better than hitting the stone as you go around. Back in, I'm going to 90. Go to the pin again. Back out. In. Right, okay, we'll try that. What we've done is ease the tip of the drill, and we've eased it here, we've eased it here, and it's pretty nice and symmetrical. It's quick and easy to do on this machine when you're not trying to duck around the camera. Anyway, okay, so there we go. So on the drill that we've just ground, we kept the chisel edge length the same, so we've point relieved the drill, and if we'd reduced the chisel edge in the middle, if the stone had been advanced further along, we would have point thinned. We'll just review those controls down at the bottom here. We'll take the locking pin out so you can see the head's free to move. When I'm setting the chuck with the drill in there, pin goes forward, or there's a lever on some that go forward. You find the correct marker on the chuck, which on this one is the green marker. The head won't rotate once you've dropped the finger in at the top. But with the lock forwards, the whole head is still. Okay? The arm comes backward, the head's free to move. So I might use the head locked and take the cam action off, just remove the cam, and then I can grind a point on the end of a shaft or what have you, or clean up the butt end of a drill. So here's the head moving side to side with a cam action. This head's actually, if you watch this arm here, going backwards and forwards. If I take out the cam and lock the head, there you go, just pure rotary movement, no cam, no movement of the whole unit, so it's all locked. So I could then take the arm off and come right the way around. So it's imperial, so it's orange, obviously. Ooh, that's tight. Let's take off this finger. That's loose, so I could come round, right round to 180 degrees, and the pin's going to drop in here somewhere. There it is. So the pin's dropped in. I've brought you around, so we're now spot on for tidying up the butt end of a gnarled up old drill. Okay, so we'll tidy this three fruit drill. The shaft's a bit marred, a bit nasty. I only grind this shaft part if it really is gnarly. If there's just the odd ding, I just take it off with a file. So I'll set this up. I'm going to set it as close to where I want to grind as possible. This fouls here, so I'll take this off. Just by way of interest, I generally have a vacuum cleaner extracting the dust, so I don't want grit getting into the machine or generally around the shed. When you've taken this off there, Just got an old towel, because I do not want grit stuck up in my wheel, in my pivot. Let's see where that goes to. So I'll see if I can grind that a bit better, a bit tidier.
Okay, we'll give this a go, but it's fiddly fiddly with the camera where it is. Back the wheel off. Come in. Yeah, I don't fancy that. Right, I'll be in front of you a bit here. So it's catching one side more than the other. I'm just going to see if it resets in the chuck. Better. I'll try that again. I'll put the bit of blue on.
So that's managed quite a reasonable finish there without too much chatter. Right, we'll just put this finger assembly back on. This little pin here, it engages, little hole there. No grit in there, it's nice and clean. The cam's got a little pin which engages into a pin on here, so it's all indexed, it's all linked. That's a strong spring though. There you go. So for the that's the cranked diamond affair for dressing the dish wheel. So what happens is you put it solid in the chuck and you push, you don't rotate the chuck, you just push this forward and backward at the correct angle. That's a bit of a faff, a bit of a nuisance, and you don't want a sharp angle on it anyway. So when I'm dressing that dish wheel, I just do it by hand with this Norby dressing stick, and it works very well. We're not changing stones on a daily basis, but if you had to, you take off this end plate, pop a key, it'll engage the spindle, that'll find a little notch in the spindle, lock it off. When you put a new stone on, we're going to use this static balance. Level up your static balance there. Shaft goes into the stone and you just basically adjust the position of these little, you adjust the whole thing so it finds a neutral position of balance in a static point. So you level up the whole job and fiddle around. It does take time actually. The stones are held on pretty heavy duty arbors, and I did make a little spider for taking those off, which, it's reverse threads, isn't it, that one? There you go. This is the manufacturer's, and it's rather good because being a bit of bent metal, there's a bit of give and it'll fit within reason. If the arbor's not quite right or what have you, these fit very well, so it's quite a good thing. Oh yeah, while I'm here, if I've got something round I need to put it in my vise. This is just an old drill truck that's a bit, yeah, it's done its best days, but you can hold something around pretty good and solid in your vise, clamp down, and away you go. So there it is. We've used the ZB32 for a simple right-handed drill grind. It's a nice piece of kit, does a good job. And all the different versions of it basically function the same, but you've just got to work out the settings on them. Right, shed guy, over and out.